So good afternoon, Adria. How are you this afternoon?
I'm doing fantastic, and I hope it's the same for you.
Oh, absolutely, it is. We're having a conversation about cases, and I know that, because of HIPAA, we can't really tell people's names and information, company names, and this and that. But there's one case that we're talking about that is definitely something that I think many people will get a lot out of if you explain a little bit about it. And I'm talking about the Fred and Wilma case. We both know Fred and Wilma is not their real names, but can you tell me a little bit about that?
Yes, so Fred and Wilma contacted me the end of May. And their issue was that they had all of these claims going on. It was over $100,000. Here was a situation where the insurance company, which we're going to call not up to snuff, and we're going to call the employer Unscrupulous Inc., they sent in the claims, they were paid, then they decided they were taking the money back, that they shouldn't have paid it. They paid it, then they were taking the money back. This happened 5 or 6 times. They gave up. They didn't know where to turn next, so they came to me for help.
Okay, so explain that to me. Who took the claim back? The insurance company took it? The employer took the money back?
Well, it was I think, let me explain to you what goes on with large corporations. In this case, here's a man who is at a university hospital in California. And when he turned 65, he says to the company, he says, I'm turning 65. I think it's time for me to be on Medicare. So they said, don't worry about it. You don't have to be on Medicare. There are multiple people who he and his wife spoke to. Don't worry. You're going to be, Medicare will be your supplement. It's not going to be your primary. And you don't worry, Medicare will be your secondary. Our insurer, which is one of the major insurance companies here in the United States, said, we will stay with you. As long as you're working here, that's what's going to happen. So, great. Now he turns, 10 years later, he turns 75 years old. And all of a sudden, he gets sick. He was healthy for those 10 years. He really didn't have any major problems. But now he's starting to get sick. And they're pushing him out the door at 75, which he was unhappy about. He really wanted to continue working. He loved his work. So the employer, we're going to call him, as I said before, Unscrupulous Inc. Now they're saying, okay, time to leave. And he's already starting to get sick. He had been in this university hospital, and he was going back and forth between the December 2018 until the fact that he didn't apply for it prior to Medicare. If he might not have applied it until January. If you don't apply for Medicare until by the end of sometime in December or starting January 1st, what happens is you have to wait 6 months before Medicare is going to accept you. So his Medicare would not be his primary until July 1st. Okay, so now he's got bills coming in from December up until the end of June. And what they did, and this is, again, it started in 2018. The case came to me the end of May of 2020. They paid it, they took it back. They paid it, they took it back. This went on 5 to 6 times. And now they're giving up, and they come to me and said, Adria, we need your help. We can't do this anymore. You have to help us. So okay.
So how much were the claims? How much, can you give us just, I know you can't give a specific amount, but just give us a roundabout number of what we're talking about.
Yeah, the claims added up to about $100,000. And they were paying a little bit here, a little bit there, and kept on going back and forth and back and forth. But the claims were $100,000, and they were primarily from the hospital, but we're also talking about another 12 different providers involved in this.
So what specifically did you do to help Fred and Wilma in this case?
Well, here they were going back and forth, and the sad thing is that I was talking to people who work for the company, the Unscrupulous Inc., and I felt like we were going back and forth. They really weren't being very helpful. The insurance company, not up to snuff, was just as bad because they're not doing the right thing. And I said, okay, this is it. So luckily, I started the case the end of May. Luckily, it was, I think, around July 17th. It was on a Friday. I called the CEO of the company, and with the help of Fred, he found the personal phone number for the CEO in the United States, and he also found his email address, his personal email address. So 5:05 Friday afternoon in July, I make the phone call to the CEO of the company. No answer. I leave a message. I send him an email. Okay, 5:05 in the afternoon on a Friday. I get an email after 7 p.m. that night from his lawyer who works for the company. She sent me the email, and I said to her, right now as I'm doing this video, we are in December. So in July, they contact me and they want more information. I send them the information, I send them all the claims, I tell them what's going on. They're not doing the right thing. And they finally also sent me to the insurance company's attorneys and their claims department, because when you call the insurance company, you normally get someone who's just a customer service. But even in this case, I went to the CEO of the insurance company, and I'm speaking to someone below him who really doesn't know how to process claims. And what she is doing is she's just sending it out to the different departments. She'll send it to the claims department. Now I'm in touch with the legal department. They did pay part of them, and I've been in touch with the hospital also to try and get all of these claims paid. Portions of it were paid out. But we're at a point right now where they're holding back, they're not paying everything. And they even asked me, which I'm going to send them a letter either this weekend or next week, to give them, they want a total chart of all of the claims that were paid or denied by this insurance company. I'm going to tell the insurance company, you've got it, you're able to do that. I sent you the outstanding bills that are still not being paid, which I received from my client and also the hospital. And I'm going to tell them, hey, look, you know what? You have all this information right here at your insurance company. You can put an Excel sheet together rather than me doing it. I'm going to send you the bills that still have not been paid. And I want you to pay that. I already wrote to them saying, you know what? Thanksgiving just ended. Christmas, New Year's is coming up. Let's give this family a gift for the holiday.
That would be fantastic if that actually happened, which it does in a lot of the cases that you deal with. So that's what fascinated me about this case. It's an ongoing case. It's something that you do day in and day out with so many different people. So just to wrap things up today, Adria, what's one way that someone can contact you, and what's one thing that you'll tell someone out there that's looking for your type of help?
I have been in this industry now for, it's going to be 31 years this month. I love the work that I do. Here I was denying claims for one insurance company for 2 years. They taught me within 2 weeks how to deny. Within 2 weeks, the next insurance company taught me how to deny. I worked there for 10 years in claims and underwriting. But, you know, the thing is, you can't give up on this. They're trying to hold on to their money. They don't want to let it go. You have a right to the money. You pay your premium for your insurance. Most claims are payable. They're just holding on tight to the money. They don't want to let it go. So please remember, Adria Gross, MedWise Insurance Advocacy, 845-978-9493. I am here to help you. Your claims are being denied, going nowhere, out of network, overcharged, you can't get pre-authorization. Please come to me. I will help you. And I always tell people, don't give up. Adria Gross, MedWise Insurance Advocacy, 845-978-9493. Thank you.